Welcome. Welcome to the Net of Light and to our online teaching, which happens on the first Sunday of every month at this time. You're always welcome. Everyone's welcome. We come together to support each other. We're sorry that there's not a way for everyone here to be able to speak to each other, but technology hasn't reached that point yet. So we have with us five of the grandmothers, including me, who are going to share and speak today. I asked Nadia from Belgium and Kate from Southern California, Snow from the United Kingdom, Harriet from New York, and Peggy from Alabama to come together today to share. And what we're going to talk about is hanging together during these times which are so divisive, that tend to pull us apart, make us very hypercritical of one another, even of ourselves, and turn friends into enemies so easily. But instead of going that route, we choose to stay in the oneness of the one love, of the one heart. All of us who've come together today are doing particular projects in the grandmother's work. So I've asked each one to share a little bit of what she does, and then to talk about what's helping her to stay steady during these times, which are very rough and very upsetting. How to stand steady amidst the storm. How to use the net of light, how to rely on the grandmothers in order to do that. And so there's no particular order. I'm just going to ask, as one wants to speak, that you speak and share, and then we'll go from one to the other. So is there somebody, so what we have, well, I've already said who we have, you know who we have. And so I'd like you to speak when you're ready. And since everybody is quite modest and waiting, I'm going to ask before we start that we work with the net of light and to bring us all to this place of union. And Nadia, would you lead us in the net of light?
Sure. Bit of a surprise, but here we go. Okay, everyone. Let's just take a couple of seconds to feel our bodies and feel how you're sitting on your chair or wherever you're sitting. Take a deep breath into your belly and out through your feet. So you can dig your roots deep, deep, deep into the ground and stay connected with Mother Earth that way. And exhale and release everything that does not serve you and is of no use to you at this time. And then just come back and drop into your hearts again and notice how your heart feels. Notice how it feels. And then have a look at your heart, if you can. And feel or see the strands of the net of light radiate out of your heart, all the way out, all around you, below you, above you. And see that you are one with the net of light, and that all around you, you see other points of light, which are hearts just like yours. And all of us are connected in this beautiful, radiant net of light. All are one, connected in love, because that's what we are made of. From this net of light, we breathe and we radiate. We are held in it and we hold it at the same time. So just relax and sit back. And as we sit, maybe this is going out on a limb here, but just imagine that you have within you, that you embody right now, one of the forms of the Great Mother, whether it be Lakshmi or Amma, the Blessed Mother, Kuan Yin. Just imagine that you are her, she's within you, and that right now she's opening her arms and she's holding each and every human being, each and every one of them, because that's you. You are the mother and you carry her essence within you, and you can hold in your embrace everyone, everyone, every human being, no exception. Just feel what that feels like. And now we call forth other forms of the mother. Mother Russia, Mother Ukraine, Pachamama, Mama Africa, and many more, all of them, each specific to the lands that people are connected with. And we call them forth and ask to please hold each human being to their chest, each one of them, and those who struggle, whether out of fear, out of pain, or those who are restless, holding them tight to her chest, all of them, so that they feel her love, all of them knowing they're loved. And she holds them until they relax in her arms and allow that love to flow in. So they can breathe easily, without fear, without pain. So they can feel the peace in their hearts. And the mother holds all. She holds the human family, and she expands and holds the animals all around the globe, the plant beings, the nature spirits and devas. She holds and enfolds all 5 elements, loving each one equally. So they are held in harmony, all 5 of them. She holds it. Mother Earth herself. Everything that lives is held in the embrace of the mother. All beings, equally loved, equally worthy, equally important. All her children. And so are you. Feel the love returning to you in this moment. You are helped. May everyone in all the worlds be happy. May every in all the worlds be happy. May everyone in all the worlds be happy. Mm.
Thank you, Nadia. Feel how you feel now. Feel your body. And just let yourself receive as much of this good as you are able and willing to receive at this time. And the good news is we're always growing in our capacity to receive. So each time you do this work, more and more good floods into you. This is the time when it's been foretold that God the Mother would return to earth, and she has, and she is here. So it's altogether fitting that we call on her now with a lot of joy and a lot of familial recognition. So since everyone was being so very modest, I'm going to intervene, and I'll ask each of you to share just a little, maybe 5 minutes worth of both what you're doing to help spread the grandmother's message and what that's doing for you. So let's see, eeny, meeny, chili beanie. Peggy, would you start?
Yes, I was hoping you would call on me. Oh, hello, everyone. There is a lot moving in the part of the world where I live. That's not unique to the southeastern US. A lot is moving everywhere. What's happening in our part of the country with regard to the grandmothers is that we will soon be having our first gathering for the southeastern United States, and it will be held in Georgia from May 13th through the 15th. So it's coming right up. We have people coming from 8 different states. Some are even coming from the West Coast. We have someone from the Northeast. So it's spanning the people's participation is spanning the United States from coast to coast. The southeastern US, I think, is a very beautiful area, but it is very deeply wounded. I won't say more so than other parts of the world or the United States, but it carries a heaviness both with the people and the land, not everywhere, but I think that's a kind of prevalent experience to sense that, yes, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of distress here as well, buried in the land and buried in the people. This part of the United States was a very active part of the enslavement of African Americans. There were horrors inflicted on tens of thousands of Native Americans, the First Nation people. The land itself suffered a lot in the Civil War, and the removing of vast numbers of trees, for example, to build railroads for the westward expansion in our country's history. So there's a lot of work to be done. And that is what we're going to be working on at this inaugural event coming right up. The gathering is going to re-sanctify the land, heal old ancestral wounds and racial wounds, even as we work to heal the wounds within ourselves as individuals. So a very important part of the work that we're going to be doing is to use the template that was laid down during the California gathering at Joshua Tree in March. And this template is this magical, wonderful tool that works with nature, humanity, and the divine all at one time. So we are going to implement what we were taught at Joshua Tree just several weeks ago. So before I speak briefly about how this work has affected me, I wanted to ask first, please, your loving thoughts, your prayers, holding us in the net, holding sacred space for us and with us as we do this work. We're going to be starting our program at 5:30 p.m. on May 13th. That's a Friday. It will end at noon on Sunday. So if you would offer your heart space during that window of time, we would be so deeply grateful, and we will feel it. Amazing people come to these gatherings, and probably most of us are pretty sensitive to the energies that come through the ethers. So we appreciate your help. It's going to be amazing. So as to how this work has affected me and my work with the grandmothers, if you had told me at Joshua Tree in March that I would kind of sort of be spearheading an event of an inaugural gathering, I would have kind of said, yeah, right, But the truth is that another woman and I, Kathy Fitzpatrick, and I are going to be, we have been collaborating a great deal on the preparations for this gathering. And it has been immense. I've participated and presented things at various gatherings in the past. I've never been on the planning end of a whole gathering, both the program and the logistics of it all. So it has been such a challenge for me. At times when I have felt overwhelmed, there's too many things to do, I can't do it all, I have just had to stop and center and ask for help, both from the grandmothers and from my sisters in this organization. I've had so much help from the council. I've had so much help from people who have said, oh, well, I'd like to participate doing something. And it's like, oh, this is great. That'll fill this little part of the program that I've just been concerned about having something important for us to touch on. So it's as if, I ask and the help is there. If I just rely on my mentalizing and my problem solving, I go nowhere but downhill. I mentalized and problem solved for decades in my professional life, and it was absolutely necessary. And now that is a help, but it's not the main deal. And so I'm just trying to say that the help is available, and I am becoming much and much more immediately ready to jump on it and say, yes, please help. I can't pull myself up by my bootstraps. I need some help with this. Thank you. I know it's already here. It's already here. So
wow.
That is my sermon.
Thank you, Peg. Thank you. And we will be linked with you on the 13th to the 15th.
Thank you. We will so appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Because the work you're doing there is going to affect everything on this planet. And of course, we will connect with you. Thank you for doing it. Wow. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Because something just bubbled up. The past week has been tough for many people, as you said, Sharon, and it has for me. And calling on the grandmothers, just asking them to show me the way when the going gets tough, and just keeping. I hope I can find the right words. Please help me, grandmother, speak through me. That always works. Anyway, when Peggy was talking, what I saw was the synchronicities. The grandmothers send us so many messages. And in the past week, I had all these little breadcrumbs. And one of them was going out on a walk and thought, oh, I'm going there. No, that's closed. I'll go that way. And I end up at a little chapel, which I have visited once before. And in a time where I was feeling pretty lousy, I walk in, and on the altar, I just remembered it said, hope for the future. That same evening, the newsletter comes in with a message of hope. And so many more things. It's just, the help is there. That's why I'm saying this is call on the grandmothers, call on the mother. And for me, it was the Blessed Mother who was showing up for me. Oh, a statue I received as a gift from my dear friend. And that statue is of the Blessed Mother of Port Maine, who appeared. And the day after she appeared, with all these stars on her cloak, which to me was like, oh, that's the fabric of being. Day after she appeared, the war where she was, they were under attack, and it stopped, and they retreated. So that message of hope for the future, of hope from the mother, and that calling on the mother really helps, is, I guess, the message for all of us at this time. And that's also what I've been doing. I've been going from doing a pretty standard net of light thing and expanding, as you've experienced the way I do the net of light now, with the embrace of the mother. I don't know, that's.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you. And I just want to say, in case you don't know it, Nadia is the glue for us in all technical ways. She helps us with she takes care of the website. She does all kinds of things for us. And she's translating the last grandmother's book, the fourth one, into Dutch in her spare time. So, thank you, Nadia. Thank you. Kate, you want to follow?
I would love to follow. I almost don't know where to start because I resonated so deeply, of course, with what Peggy was describing, finding that when you step forward to take on a new assignment, that you are embraced by the grandmothers, you expand into the role, and if you falter, the human grandmother web is there to lovingly catch you as you fall. And it's almost better to have this interconnected weave of the various different people so that you're just bound so closely that you almost don't even have to ask for help. The person will anticipate. So that is a blessing and a huge gift for me because I have in my life been a very isolated person, a very withdrawn person over times for reasons. And it's just a wonderful sense of coming home. And I too can echo what Nadia has been saying in the sense of been having some hard times recently myself. And I woke up this morning and I felt lighter, and I felt I had in my dreams groups of joyous people working on creative projects, and it was all very interconnected and loving and fun and laughter and dancing. And it was just like, wow, this sure is better than having a bunch of dreams where you forgot to do the homework or study for the final or whatever it could be. As far as projects, it is my honor and my joy to be part of what we kind of would roughly call the communications arm of the grandmothers. I have found my joy in formatting and choosing the images for the newsletters, working side by side with Sharon. She'll send me the raw material and I'll pull it together. And that allowed me to grow quite a bit in creativity. And now I will be working with Linda Vaughn, and Snow will talk about the project of the Eastern European Support Group, but I'm going to be working to help them format and develop a means of communicating the collective wonder and joy of that effort. And Snow will tell you more about it as she goes to discuss her own thing. So I want to just close with the image that whispered in my brain as we were beginning, when Sharon was saying, how are the grandmothers working and how are you experiencing the work right now? And the image I suddenly felt in my soul was the earth, the image of the earth warming in the spring and the crocus starting to come out, and just feel the warmth and reach toward the warmth and push through the warmed earth, and that sense of the hope and rebirth that really is this springtime. And yeah, the world is filled with really dark stuff, but the thrust in our lives and in our hearts with this work with the grandmothers and the great mother is joy and hope and peace. So that's it.
Thank you, Kate. And by the way, she put together the whole Joshua Tree retreat. Thank you for everything. Snow, do you want to follow then on that? This.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I would love to follow. It just feels harmoniously to flow after Kate has already mentioned part of a project. Nature Flight has completely transformed my life. When I reflect on my recent years and think about my life, the events that were most fun, most adventurous, most exciting, loving, beautiful, were the ones that were connecting me to community in the Nature Flight. The people who would come and get together and give their heart space to learning about the grandmothers and mother. And that exactly what was probably the most precious about life. And somehow all memories, they start to fade. When I look back at my life, and now more than ever, probably, I sort of evaluate and reflect on life. And this is really like the most refined crystal of experience that I have received as a gift in this lifetime. And in the past, I used to sit down in meditation on a daily basis, not because I felt I'm obliged, but really because I was so moved by the message of shared love in every single book where the grandmother spoke. So I can't even find the word to describe this, but the love was so palpable, and this longing to experience it, it was filling every single cell in the body. So over the time, I started to embody this. I no longer really have to sit in the meditation because I really feel how it moves inside and around, and it's in all the directions inside, and penetrates everything, really, just exactly like Sharon describes it in the books, but I really, really feel it in the body. So this is something that came over the time, and this is really beautiful and exciting to experience, really quite magical. And talking about the projects, I really feel like I'm sort of a bridge connecting Lithuania with the project to help Eastern European countries to feel that they are not alone, and that they're many hearts who are joining them and really offering all the love and support. And at the same time, this bridge from Lithuania takes some messages and brings them over to Sharon, and then we distribute it to people who want to hear how they can help and how to support the peace project. And then at the same time, I have my community in United Kingdom, so I also share with them. So it's like a few really directions and bridges with a few different countries. And I really wanted to thank everybody who replied to our last meetings online when we shared about our support project for Eastern Europe. So many beautiful people have responded, and their willingness to help and be with these people is just really touching. So because the amount of the letters is so big, and we really want you to feel like you're not just sitting alone in meditation, but really you have some feedback on this. We've decided to create a little project. So Kate and Linda Vaughan will be updating you, and like a bridge, I will be getting some information from Lithuania and then sending it over to Linda and Kate, and they will be presenting it over to you. So there will be some exciting behind the scenes sharings. And overall, just to summarize, the sense of unity, communion, nothing but love, it just radiates, and there's nothing else to say to add. Thank you so much. Please feel it. Thank you.
Snow, I want you to know that I met with a group of the grandmothers from the Midwest last week. And it's not just Linda Vaughn. There's this whole group in the Midwest who are working very, very deeply with Eastern Europe now. They feel a real kinship with all of you. So they're working with you. And I also wanted you to say a few words about this project that you and Renata and Antonina were putting together to get this YouTube presentation to the Russians.
Oh yes, this is a stretch for me as well. Like Peggy and Kate already said, and I was like, oh, it's happening for me as well. So because it just happened, being a bridge and speaking a few languages, I can be of service with my language skills. And it's really exciting because we want to get this message out to the Russian community, Russian speakers who don't speak English or other languages that have already books translated into. So to get the message quicker, we've decided to start sharing Sharon's videos translated into Russian language, and then maybe occasional YouTube appearances with maybe answering some questions, offering net of light meditations, and really talking more about grandmother's work and reading from the books and just sharing the message. And I feel it's a stretch, but I feel it is now or never, really. It is now. So thank you.
Thank you. Very exciting. We'll see where it goes.
Already received subtitles for 6 of the basic videos from Snow in Russian, which can be, of course, also read by the Ukrainian people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. And in those messages, it's uplift, it's the grandmother speaking. So it's uplift, it's unity, it's loving service for one another. So they're not political. That's nothing to do with that. So Harriet, you've been doing a different kind of work for us for over a year now. I mean, yeah,
we've crossed the 2-year mark.
2 years, yes.
Yes.
Speak a little about that, and then speak a little about that so people know how to contact you if they want to be involved.
Sure.
And also, by the way, if you want to be involved in that Eastern European work, support work for Eastern Europe, just contact us through the Net of Light, and we'll put you in touch with Snow and the group. So Harriet also does some work. Go speak.
Okay. So the grandmothers at the start of the pandemic, they came to me in my dreams and said, start the Net of Light, keep it simple, keep it steady. And just that's all I heard, simple and steady. So I began with a daily Net of Light and did that for about 4 or 5 months, and then moved to Wednesdays.
The Net of Light meditation, where you invited everybody to join you.
Yes. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. So invited everyone Yes, so I was doing it and still doing it on a free conference call. So we didn't have to worry about Wi-Fi or anything. So if everybody has a pen and paper, I'll give you the number. You can also get it from my name as a beacon on the Net of Light website. But the telephone number is 760-548-9989. It is at 12:15 p.m. every Wednesday. That's Eastern Standard Time. So you would have to calculate that to your own. What has been remarkable is that about 15 to 20 people join every Wednesday, and they're not all the same. There's a core group of maybe 4 or 5, and it's just incredible to see from California, the Midwest, the Southwest, Southeast. And there is this deep gathering of very, very simple, steady connection to the Net of Light, and really going to the grandmother's message of stay steady, we will hold you, the Net of Light will support you. And I've come to really feel when we open the Net of Light meditation on Wednesdays, there is such a deep sensation of bonding for every person that is on that call, and this beam of light moving through the spot where they are, and kind of the spider love and light that goes out from them. So that's what just keeps being the message. That is what has kept me feeling steady. I feel like I'm in ground zero in the United States here on Long Island and just outside of New York City. And there's always franticness. It's just the energy and the vibration is always frantic. And thank God for the grandmothers and the Net of Light. It's almost as if there's small children having tantrums on the highways and in the grocery stores, and all I hear is hold steady, treat them like they're small children that are wounded and having a temper tantrum. So what does a nurturing mother do? She quietly goes, shh, it's okay, it's okay. And you help them out with what they need simply in that moment. So I keep hearing, slow it down, stay steady, stay in the net, because the energy is very frenetic. It's very frenetic. The media cannot wait to spin this tri-state area into high levels of fear, and people have just become numb or they're acting out. So I realize that when I am out and about and am holding steady, I go into the grocery store and call in the Net of Light to hold steady, I can feel it. I can feel that there is a blanket of calm that's coming with me. And it is, and to just slow down all the motions. Somebody wants to go ahead of me, you go right ahead. Can I help you with your stuff onto the counter? And it just slows everybody down. So it is, in my practice, I work with mothers and children. It's the same thing, the steadiness in the light, in the net, and that deep, motherly, nurturing hug. You all spoke of it. It's just being held, and that's it. They're just wounded. and they're having tantrums. And you don't try and reason with the child who's having a tantrum. There's no conversation to have. It is strictly holding their hand or holding the space around them. And that's it. So I am always so deeply grateful on Wednesdays when these incredible people that I haven't met, and I can see the list. I get the free conference call list at the end of the call, and they're from all over the country. And I think, wow, this is so exciting. And they're just bringing that steadiness in a deep, mindful manner. So that's how it feels for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Harriet. Kate, would you mention where people can connect with Harriet and also with Jenny? Because Jenny's doing this on Mondays, I think, as well.
Right. These are both steady weekly meditations. Harriet's is the Net of Light meditation. That's Wednesdays. Jenny's is the Tree of Life meditation. She does that on Mondays. And I post it every week, the day before on Facebook. And my idea when I post on Sharon Mackerlane Facebook page, which anybody can go to, even if you can't friend her, and the Grandmothers Speak Net of Light page also. And I just try to post it the day before so that in my imagination, Facebook is just kind of this giant market, place where things scurry around, and that it may just come across someone's view and they'll say, oh, I'm going to do that. That sounds really beautiful. And I think Jenny's had a similar experience where there is a core of regulars and then she'll collect some others.
Yes. And just to add, sorry, Kate, just to add to that, first of all, thank you for all your promotion. It's so, I feel your hug from that.
You should.
And also just to remind everyone, Jenny's is Mountain Time on Mondays at 10 a.m.
Well, what I do is, because I am California time centric and everything is always discussed in California time, I use California Pacific time, but
okay.
Most people can, do the time conversion thing. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to figure out how to do it, have call-ins from Europe and other places. It's just United States, Canada. Is that not correct?
Well, Kate, we'll talk after this.
Okay.
Because there is a fabulous way to do it. And
okay,
I know the numbers, so we can talk about that. Yes, and Nadia would love to have you. I hope it's not like midnight, when you try to join. But there are numbers where it is a free call from even Europe.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll talk with you, Kate.
Okay, great.
So you see, we have all this work to do, and it's joyous work. And this is just a small portion of what people are doing. There's all kinds of work going on, and it's fun, and it brings us a feeling of camaraderie and family. And there's no money involved. No, there's no charge for anything. We just all give and do because we've been given to. And so we're happy to spread this. So we're
Sharon,
coming. Yeah.
May I just also mention, since we're sharing these two calls as collective things, there are online Zoom grandmother meetings, some of which are open. I have a list, so does Peggy somewhere, but if anybody's interested in attending different online Zoom grandmother meetings, contact us through the Net of Light.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything else to add to this?
There was this little idea. Did you want to mention that about the books in the library?
Yes, that was the last thing. One of the people at Joshua Tree went back to Santa Cruz and started telling her pals about this gathering at Joshua Tree. and they wanted to know more about it. And she said, well, you should read, go to the netoflight.org and then get a book and so forth. Well, they got a very excellent and very old-fashioned idea. They went to the local library and they asked if that library wouldn't buy the four books, and have them available just so that people can borrow them and don't, because not everybody wants to go buy a book or can go buy a book. And the same person, Janine, is also working to get it into San Francisco Library, and I believe, I don't know, I can't remember. But this is something any of us could do. Just go to our local library and say, hey, this is a really interesting bunch of books, and we'd like to make them available to people. Is there any way we could do that? So it's just a suggestion. We have to walk a careful line. We're not trying to go out and promote and hawk the grandmothers, but we want to make the grandmother's message of love. We want to open this door for everybody, so everybody can feel this love and everybody can bathe in this love. So thanks for reminding me, Nadia.
And they are available in some libraries in Belgium. I know that. So it's a starting point for a lot of people.
And any of you who are with us who can't, talk on this call, if you have ideas for us, send that as well. We love to hear from you. We do, and we're constantly expanding the grandmother's reach. As soon as we think of something and we can find someone to do it, we expand it even more. Because the world, this is, as the grandmothers say, this is the 11th hour. This is not pretend. This is the difficult time. And so we want as many people who are open to this message of love and peace and oneness to have it. So on that thought, let's come together again, just for a couple of minutes, and experience how connected you are with the net of light, how connected we all are right now with one another, our hearts connected, resonating, the strands of light that connect all our hearts. We are part of the net of light, the web of light that holds and upholds all life, not only on this planet, but throughout the cosmos itself. We are part and parcel of that. And just breathe with the net of light now. Let the net of light breathe with you. Just give yourself the thought of receiving. I want to receive. And then just let yourself thought, and the very thought of yes, yes, I want to receive. You do receive. It's your birthright to be held in light. You are as you are meant to be. You were created to be as you are. You are held in light. You are loved. You are loving, and you are love itself. Net of light, floating in the net of light, net of light, holding in the net of light, reaching out, reaching in, reaching through the net of light, loving all, serving all, holding all within the light. Net of light, net of light, net of love, and net of light, net of light, net of light. Our hearts are one within the light. Feel that. Be that. See you next month.